What is normal in your country, but seems weird to the rest of the world? Putting broken glass bottler on the walls around your house so burglars can jump it and rob you. I moved to Canada and they don't even have walls around the houses. All of Latin America. Yup. Chile has neighborhoods with fences like these described. African countries as well. Common sight in some countries in the Balkan. A short while ago they stopped selling alcohol after 10 p.m. At some stores you couldn't even get non-alcoholic beer. What's weird though is that wine is not considered alcoholic drink, so you can buy it anytime. Welcome to Moldova. In certain US states you can't buy any alcohol in stores after 8 p.m. or on Sundays. Georgia, the US state, just revised the law to allow alcohol purchases in grocery stores only after 12:30 p.m. on Sundays. In restaurants, only after 11 a.m. on Sundays. It used to be not long ago no purchases on Sundays in the state. Heck, even some counties are still dry counties, where you can't buy alcohol at all anytime. Makes for nice caravans to the liquor stores and bars in the next county over, which are the biggest supporters of the dry county laws themselves. Yeah, it's almost like people support shit that makes other people's lives worse, when they can profit off of it. This is the great boon of capitalism. The cracks that are just wide enough to be able to see in and out of public restroom stalls. United States. I've heard it's thought of as weird, since many other countries enjoy the luxury of privacy. How else would you know if the stall is occupied though? Seriously though, as a European having to visit the US twice a year, pooping in the US is stressful. Does it not have the green/red thing that turns, based on whether or not the door is unlocked/locked? Most of the restroom stalls in the US I saw do not. Yay. Unfortunately in the US, those suckers would be broken instantaneously when they are installed. We can't have nice things here, or even the words occupied and vacant. Putting cable ties, branches, fake eyes etc on helmets, buckets, and hats in springtime to scare away the birds. Magpies are vicious bastards. Bribing them with fairy bread works sometimes. Wouldn't that just condition them to return for more bread? Then you bribe them more, create semi-loyal army, and go to war with other country. They're like extremely greedy mercenaries, demand more and more money, and if you ever stop paying, they'll turn on you. It's not pretty, but it's a relatively easy way to get an army of flying beaked bastards. I would rather bribe the crows to stake the territory around my house and scare off the magpies. Calling mixed race people coloured. I'm from South Africa and I'm coloured, but when I went on holiday in the UK, coloured is a derogatory term, but in South Africa it's completely normal. It's kinda bad in the U.S as well, nowhere as bad as the N-word though. Coloured was the polite version of the N-word for Americans who lived between 1920 and 1970, as in that coloured boy tried to drink from the whites only fountain. More to the point, its use in an American context directly references segregationist public policies as it was used as the primary differentiation for segregation policies. Calling them all chips, not crisps, hot chips or anything else. Just chips, except you wedges you can have a different name. 90% of this entire thread is Australia/New Zealand commenting, mostly because of when it was posted. It's like 2 a.m. right now in Aus and 4 a.m. in NZ, so I doubt it. 11 p.m. actually. What time? Nighttime Redditing is great. Do you doubt our ability to stay awake past 1:59 a.m. and 3:59 a.m.? Oh boy, 3 a.m. Drinking beer before 12 back quote clock and seeing it as part of the culture. UK too. No judgment. I was speaking with a Yank, and they said that the UK is like an airport. It's somehow socially acceptable to drink at any time of the day. Never thought about it that way, but he's right. I find it weirder to discriminate drinking based on the time of day. For me it's all about what I have to do afterwards. In the UK, it's far easier to day drink. The Wetherspoons you go to for breakfast will likely be within walking distance of you and your friends, so you can meet up. It'll have an outdoor seating area for you to sit as you're walking your dog, and you won't be driving to work, since it's just a 5-minute bus ride away. I used to walk my dog up to a pub on a canal, tie my dog outside, while I got a doom bar and a dog bowl for water from inside. Then I'd sit with the owners, and play with their bearded dragon, before I went back on my walk. In the US, the semantics are terrible. The closest bar is likely a 10-minute drive for both you and your friends with no public transport. You won't be able to drink because your work is a half-hour drive away. It'll also be hard to find the time with all of the travel time for everyone. We have matrimonial ads in newspapers and sites to find grooms and brides, which I think don't happen in Western countries, and they find it strange. The ads are mostly published by parents. It's like Tinder supervised by parents. India, *TINDIA. Can't be angry at this one. I'm just angry at my parents. They're very disappointed in you. I'd be disappointed if they weren't. Being left off of maps. This could be a great Hollywood plotline. Something apocalyptic happens, and for hundreds of years humanity is in chaos. Then finally someone escapes on a ship and hits New Zealand, which has magically escaped the global chaos, and they're like, wow, this place wasn't on our maps. The road to El Zealando. Until you realize Zealand is in Denmark and New Zealand is a completely different place. The road to Nouveau Zealando. In true Hollywood fashion. Damn. In university we thumped the tables to applaud our professors, instead of actually applauding, or doing nothing. During my exchange semester everyone not from Germany was looking at me confused why I did this. In my country we don't applaud our professors, at least not in the one I go to. It has only happened once, when the lecture was especially interesting and professionally done. In my experience it's done for guest lecturers, or at the end of the last lecture of the term. Definitely not at the end of every regular lecture though. We definitely applaud by hitting the table after every single lecture, even exercise courses we have with master and doctoral candidates. Yup, only time I've seen it was when it was her last lecture before retirement. We don't do in the US for fear of waking up the sleeping students. Bagged milk. I know it's normal in some places, but not here in the UK. Interestingly, businesses must have caught up with it as every single Costa I've been to has milk in bags. We tried it in my elementary school in the US for a while. It was a common trick to say your chocolate milk busted because you put the straw too far and get another one. It didn't last long. When will the police go after the real criminals? Chocolate milk fraudsters. Those clumsy kids pay my salary. You joke, but some idiots in my high school printed fake money to use in the school cafeteria and the US Secret Service showed up to sort it out. Sometimes the little shits need to think about respect and learning just how shit happens in the world. Washing your butthole after taking a crap. Sio considered in Oatilico. Marchekas. Gorlami. Buongiorno. Like I said, third best Italian. This all seems like flawless Italian to me. Let me hear the music in it. Whole restaurants cheering when a plate or glass is smashed. UK. Once was in a Canadian bar/restaurant on holiday and the waiter dropped a tray of glasses. The local looked horrified when I was out of my seat screaming "We I am Canadian." Would be horrified, haha. I feel as if this is one of those things where you're horrified when sober, but would join in a heartbeat when drunk. Edit. In Canada, it's never mean-spirited. It's just a tradition really. We applaud in America if it's a setting full of teens. And by teens, this also includes drunk adults. Especially in a bar setting. Drunk adults are basically teens. Sprinkles on buttered bread is made by fairies and is perfect for kids' parties. And anything negative said about said treat is sacrilegious. A Slag is still my favorite childhood school vacation memory. Till the Netherlands and Australia share a delicious treat. Growing up in Australia with Dutch parents was just sprinkles everywhere. Another fellow Dutchie, how do you do? Do you the sprinkles in Australia? Cause I want to move, but not without my Slag. This fucking thread made me so happy. Strangers sitting totally naked skin to skin in a steamy room heated to +80 to +100°C, and us having competitions on who can last the longest in there. And as a consequence of that, having seen 90% of my friends naked, regardless of gender. Also co-workers. As an American, this horrifies me to a great extent. I'm very happy without knowing what my boss's dick looks like, what me grandma's tatars look like, or God forbid, everyone I know seeing me in the nude. Understandable. Cock daddy Karen. I'm in tears. Haven't laughed that much in a long time. Thank you, stranger. Good to know. Cheese curds and gravy over fries. Canada isn't real. A magical land covered in Christmas, where everyone is nice and syrup literally falls from the trees. Like that's a real place. Nobody eats cheese curds, fries, and gravy. Don't be pouting these vicious rumors about. Lol. Leaving your baby alone outside for their nap, even if it rains or snows. This is also the normal thing to do in Denmark. All midday naps are outside in a pram. Same if you are at a cafe. It's quite normal to leave your child outside in their pram, as long as you can see them. Where I lived in Copenhagen, there was a nursery school in the same building. The windows to the room, where the children napped, was just round portholes without glass. It's considered that important for napping babies, to be exposed to the fresh air. There was a great thing, to prevent people crawling in, or out the windows. This was a modern building from this century. My friend would put her baby into her snowsuit, and then place the baby in the fleece-lined pram. Then a down blanket, a pram cover, and a hat. She'd then wheel the pram outside in the winter with just the baby's eyes and nose sticking out. As a 30-some-year-old man, this sounds like a wonderful way to nap. Putting chips in our burgers. I know it isn't the same, but we are occasionally known to line up french fries in our burgers here too. Go to Pittsburgh, where they put fries on their fucking salads. I knew us putting fries on our sandwiches was a Pittsburgh thing, but it never occurred to me that fries on salad isn't something everybody does. Never been to Pittsburgh. I do this one the regular. Pittsburgh, there is an H at the end. In my friend's country, Easter is when gangs of boys roam the countryside, pouring water over girls and beating them, gently, with sticks. The girls then have to thank them for it. I thought that was pretty weird. Edit. She's from Slovakia. Some random drunk old guy hit my ass with a stick in Prague on Easter 2 years ago. That explains it. Did you thank him for it? Thank you, daddy. Got him, strangers. Oh no, that one was legit. He just thought you have a fun ass. Eating biscuits and gravy. I traveled to the UK and told them that biscuits and gravy is a very common breakfast food, and as you would expect they were highly confused. BISCUIT equals COOKIE across the pond. Why we would take something sweet and cover it in gravy. And also was confused that the gravy we use has sausage in it and is white. BNG is the food of the gods. As a southerner, I can confirm. Every housewife around here has their own biscuit and gravy recipe and they will gladly tell you in complete detail how to do it just right. Now your job is to collect all of them and create the ultimate recipe and share on Reddit. I don't even know how someone can have a gravy recipe. It's all seat of your pants cooking. First, fry something. Anything, be it bacon, chicken, or chicken fried steak. Pour most of the grease out into a coffee can or something, saving several tablespoons of the grease. Add flour and make a roux. Add flour until the roux looks right. Then pour in some milk and add salt and pepper. If the mixture is too thin, cook a little longer. If the mixture is too thick, add more milk. It couldn't be simpler.